Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. We are all coming on in. So get in here. We are doing our wonderful, what is wonderful about being a member event. And I'm so excited to have you all come and join. So I'm going to give you all a minute to come on in. I know some of you are watching right on Eventbrite, others of you are watching on YouTube, and then still others of you are in our Wonderful Women Who Travel Facebook group. So wherever you're coming from, hello, it's so great to see you. And if you haven't watched one of these streams before, it's a little bit different from your typical Zoom call. So what you're going to see is in the comments section, there should be, for you on Facebook, obviously you know where that is. If you're on YouTube, you've got a comment section on the right of the screen. Feel free to pop something in, say hi, tell us where you're tuning in from. It's always great to check in with you all and to hear from you and to get a sense of the room. I know sometimes these things can feel so like one-sided with just one person streaming, but I really will respond to everything. I actually was at an event a couple days ago and I responded to something in real time and she was like, "Oh, you really are live." And I was like, "These are not pre-recorded sessions. This is a live session that's happening now." So, hey, Jordan, our DC chapter director is here. Hi, Diana, who's from Colombia. Awesome. Great to have you. And more and more as you all get coming in, feel free to drop in the chat. We'd love to welcome you. And we're going to make this short, quick, and easy, which is never a way that people describe me. So we'll see how concise I can be, but I want to be sensitive to your time. And so I have some slides, and the first most important slide to show you is just introducing who we have on screen. So hi, everybody. If you don't know me, I am Beth. I'm the founder and CEO of Wanderful, and I have Justine here, who's our head of communications and marketing. Hey, Justine.
Hi, nice to
How
be
you
here.
doing?
Good. I'm so excited to read more of these comments come in. Hello, everyone.
Yeah. And Justine, you have been on the Wanderful team for what, couple years? But
Yeah,
in the community for even longer. So I love that. I think it's so special too. We have a number of wonderful team members that actually started as like members of our community and just really awesome people that we were like, we must have you. So we just pulled her out and here she is. So thanks, Justine, for being here with me. Always fun to do
yeah.
this with more than one. And hi, Ivy, this is her first live wonderful event from Jacksonville. Oh, that's awesome. Well, welcome, welcome. And if any of you are current members, I know we have a lot of members that come in and join this too. Sometimes they like just the refresher on their benefits. Other times they love to just meet prospective members. So if you're a current member, go ahead and say hi in the chat as well, or, tell us how long you've been a member and feel free to dive in and participate in this. I know, again, it feels kind of like one person talking, or in this case, two people talking, but we really do want to incorporate all of you. So feel free to share your comments. If something jumps out at you, say so. Let us know. We'll respond to you. We'll feature you. We'd love to incorporate your words into this too. And the first thing, so here's a really quick rundown of what we're going to do. We're going to talk about Wanderful. We're going to talk about our community. We're going to go through all of the different membership types and benefits. And we're actually going to meet some of our members too. I have some really awesome videos that have been recorded by some of our members that want to tell you their story. So we'll do that. And then I put Q&A at the end, but honestly, if you have questions anytime in the middle, feel free to just pop those in. Hey, Teresa, we've got Teresa here in St. Louis. We have Marissa here in Chicago. Oh my gosh, the sunny weather that you're getting in Chicago is not what we're getting in Boston. We are having like a nor'easter level storm, no snow, but serious rain. Pam, welcome. Pam is our wonderful short-term rental expert in the house. So great to see Diane in St. Petersburg. Oh, we have a couple people. Oh no, Jacksonville and St. Petersburg. Okay, not too far away from each other in Florida. Well, it's great having you all. Keep jiving in the comments. It's always nice to see where everybody is tuning in from. And let me tell you, If you haven't heard, whether this is your first time participating or hearing about Wanderful, or your millionth time, I always feel like I cannot get enough of this perfect description of what we do. And this is our manifesto video. And so I'm going to play it for you. It is really it's something that our members recorded years ago, actually, and we still use it to this day because it's just this really awesome, inspiring video with this statement that we all kind of subscribe to in the Wanderful community. And I think it speaks so much to our values. So sometimes the video is not perfect. If it doesn't run perfectly, you can thank the nor'easter that we're getting here in Boston, and I'll send you the direct link. But let's try to watch it. It's just about 2 minutes long, and it's always a lot of fun. So let me bring it on in here. Am a trailblazer,
an adventurer,
an explorer,
a traveler.
I want to see the world.
Whether I'm loaded with suitcases
or carry only what's on my back.
I travel because it teaches me as much about the world
as it does about myself.
I am curious,
resilient,
powerful,
compassionate.
I want to live a life in which my friendships span continents,
where I can cherish our differences
and embrace our similarities.
Not because I have read about them,
but because I have lived them.
I am a daughter,
a neighbor,
a mother,
a sister.
I travel with my friends,
with my partner,
my kids, and sometimes I travel on my own.
My life is too short to be stagnant.
I ignore the people who doubt me.
I pave my own path.
I dream big.
I conquer mountains.
And sometimes I am shaken to the core.
I believe in a global sisterhood of women
who help me see myself for who I am
and challenge me to be who I want to be.
I am wonderful.
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 It just gets me every time. So I hope you all got to see it. It looks like we've got some good comments of people watching in. Hey, Melissa, and Pam saying, I'm wonderful too. I love it. I love it. So, and it looks like Justine, you might be a little bit blurry. So I'm going to continue on without you. We'll let you sort out your internet. But it is absolutely my favorite manifesto, and I think it just speaks to who we are and this really incredible embracing sisterhood. And I think the other thing that's really special, and we're going to talk about here too, is that all of the benefits, a lot of them, you don't even have to use them when you're traveling. You can use them anytime, which I think is really, really neat. We have all sorts of virtual events. We have incredible networking. And so it's really a special part. So let me tell you a little bit about how this all started. So I started Wanderful when I was traveling alone, actually, in 2009 in a country called Sao Tome and Principe, which is a 2-island Portuguese-speaking country off the west coast of Africa. And it was during that time that I felt really, it was one of my first experiences abroad. I had studied abroad, but this was like literally went into a country with no expectations, no program, just completely solo. And I learned a lot of things. One was what it was like living locally in a place where you're a foreigner. And the other was understanding the reality of women's experiences when we travel, and the fact that we're treated differently in different places. Our lived experiences are very different in different places. And I didn't really have a way to navigate that. And so I just started to write about it. And I think one of the things that's really important with this, people always ask me like, oh, well, why didn't you just like use a guidebook, or why didn't you, read a blog post, which, by the way, blogs were not very popular in 2009 quite yet. But I think the other thing is because it was more than just tips and advice that I needed. Yes, I wanted the logistical support, but also I wanted the emotional support. I needed a sisterhood of other women who got it. I needed to be able to go home and to be able to explain what my experience was like, and for somebody else to understand fundamentally what that meant. I didn't want people just saying, "Oh, how was your trip?" and then I just had nothing to say to them. And so I really started this from a place of my own personal need. And today we've grown to so much more than that. I mean, you'll see really quickly here just a smidge of the things we do. Of course, we have our membership community here at the bottom. We have local chapters in cities all around the world that meet up until the pandemic in person. And now we're starting to actually do their in-person events again. We have trips. We're doing a big Antarctica trip in 2023. We run a conference called the WITS Travel Creator and Brand Summit, which is all about amplifying the voices of women who are building businesses and who are content creators in the travel space. I see you back, Justine, so I'm going to try to add you in here and see if it works. Come on back in. Yes, it does. I'm just telling everybody what we do. No, you're good. You're good. We have Wanderfest, which I don't think I mentioned, but I think about it in my head pretty much every 5 minutes. It's the first major outdoor travel festival by and for women. We're doing it in downtown New Orleans in March. We are so excited about it. We have music and speakers and like all these tents with really cool things to do. And we're doing a parade down the French Quarter, and it's literally going to be like your most favorite weekend of life. We have the Bessie Awards, which is an award show that honors women of impact in travel. We have a radio station with Pandora Music, and of course we have a blog. So you'll kind of see that we've carved out this really beautiful speck of the universe for ourselves. Oh, here's Marissa getting all excited about Wanderfest. This is what happens when I start talking about it, as I get too excited. And we've created this space where we are advocating for all women to travel, to give a support network for women to do that. But we're also looking at the industry as a whole and making sure that it's not just women who are giving women like pepper spray to send on their way, but also looking at what are some of the fundamental issues in the travel industry that we can combat. And Ashley asked this question, do you have a podcast? Oh my God, Ashley, that's like the one thing we don't have. And trust me, every day
Ashley,
somebody asks me,
more ideas.
I know, I was like, Ashley, I'm going to be saying this now, like, stop giving me ideas. I have thought about, literally, you will talk to like people who have worked for Wanderful for 10 years. And like, I always bring this up. So who knows? Maybe something will come. Justine, don't you have a pod? No, you don't have. Yeah, you do have a podcast.
I do, yes.
All right. Well, maybe Justine's going to convince us to start one for Wanderful. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, there's so much that we do, and it's really, really cool. And I think the whole spectrum of it is creating this space that didn't exist before. And so I was just going to say Wandership, which is going to be the new word for membership. So the thing about membership is, oh my God, Marissa, is like Beth's dream is to have a wonderful podcast. Yeah. Thing about membership is it actually didn't exist before. We had it, we launched it in the end of 2019. And it was something that we were just trying out. And it just so happened that when 2020 rolled around and we all stopped traveling, membership actually grew. We have a platform on Mighty Networks, and it's a space where we can connect with each other. We can share our stories. We have a number of virtual events, and we just found all these women who missed travel, and that whole point of sisterhood just came into really clear perspective for us. And so over the last 2 years, we've been really cultivating this beautiful community of women who, whether or not you're going anywhere, are there to support each other. And I think that's like a really cool part of it. And so I have a slide that's all about how people have used their Wanderful membership. And it's so funny because like we have people in the chat right now who are already telling us this. So Teresa's saying her favorite thing about Wanderful is all the new friends she has all over the world. Diana says, I love being able to find so many people who love to travel and also travel with a purpose. We do a lot on not just traveling for the sake of traveling, but like traveling as a way to lean into the world and to learn about local communities. We talk a lot about conscious and responsible travel. And I think that's something that really differentiates us is we want to help you be a better traveler, because in our mission to we talk about making travel better for all women, and I think sometimes we forget that that doesn't just mean the traveler. That also means the local communities that you're visiting. That also means the women who work in the travel industry, and I think that's a huge part of all of it. So I'm going to jump to this slide, but Justine, I've been monologuing. Is there anything that you wanted to add to this before I go on?
Yeah, I mean, I just agree with Teresa and what she's been saying about meeting new friends all around the world. I think that's one of the most beautiful things about Wanderful. There are two particular people that I'm thinking in my mind who I've become so close with after meeting them at one of the Wanderful events. And, you know, we haven't been able to see each other over the last, you know, what is it, almost 2 years, but you know, we've always stayed in touch. And so yeah, it's just been such a wonderful experience to connect with women who love to travel, and also on my end, you know, who really care about the world and traveling responsibly and sustainably. And so that's something that we really aligned on. So for Dahiana, like, I agree with you completely, and it's something that drew me to Wanderful at the beginning as well.
And I think that's such a really great way to explain it too, because I like to think of Wanderful women as different than other travel people that use travel products necessarily, because I think that Wanderful women, like, travel is a part of us. You know, that it's something that we think about, whether it's travel for vacation or whether it's just kind of having this global mindset and this awareness of the world and this desire to be part of the world. And I think that that's like a very key differentiator between somebody who's just looking for, you know, an app or a one-time event to go to, and somebody who really is Wanderful.
Absolutely.
So here's a couple of things to look at in terms of how we use our Wanderful community before our trips. We can get travel tips and advice with each other. We build our skills and network through our virtual events. I'll go through all of the benefits that you can see everything. We have a number of deals and discounts with our travel partners too, which is awesome. It helps you plan. During the trip, I think, is when we really shine, because you can find women all around the world in our network who will meet up with you, who will host you in their home, who will take you out for a cup of coffee. I mean, I think that that's like such a special part of this, is the marginal benefit of just knowing one other person when you travel, and who can give you a little bit of advice of where to go, where to stay, what to do, how to use the bus system, like whatever it is, I think makes all the difference in the world. But then I think it also continues after your stay too, where you can stay plugged in with your local chapter. Our local chapters are always doing really fun activities and events. Marissa just mentioned the Chicago chapter is doing like a tour of the Chicago History Museum. I know the DC chapter just did like a really fun museum visit too. So, you know, people to continue that global mindedness with. And then all of our virtual activities are still going strong. We have this incredible team of resident experts. I know Pam is here; she's one of them, and they're here to offer you advice and support, and you know, their knowledge and their ideas. So it's been really neat. And Jordan's adding in cider tasting and a national tree visit. Now I really want to be in DC right now. That is so fun. And Teresa's saying the St. Louis chapter has just started. They're doing Wanderful Women Wednesdays at Handlebar on the first Wednesdays of the month. So it's there is all sorts of good stuff.
It's so great to see that people are starting to come together again. I love that.
I know. And so much of it has been outdoor. I know we've been doing like a lot of, you know, walking tours around town, or and certainly some places easier than others to do outside as we get a little bit colder in the northern hemisphere. But it's been giving us life to see some of that coming back again. And for everybody else who's still virtual, we have a lot of chapters who are still happily virtual right now and just waiting until it's the right time for them to start that in-person stuff. And in the meantime, you can tag on to all of our virtual activities, which we do almost every day. We have something going on in the Wanderful community. I know one of my favorite ones happening this Friday, I think, is Pam, who runs our Mexico City chapter. She is doing, and I asked her to do this because she did this really amazing tour of the Dia de los Muertos altars that they make. And she and the Mexico City chapter members like did tours of their homes last year. And this year I was like, can you help us make our own if we want to kind of honor this holiday? Because honestly, I feel like that's the most beautiful holiday that I don't celebrate. And so she was like, I would love to. So she's actually doing a workshop on how to kind of create your own. Yeah, so that you can honor loved ones that you've lost. And they're doing that on Friday. It's going to be so pretty. But even that, like, you can go to Mexico for the day, like learn about something that you might not even get a chance to do if you're visiting, because you might not, otherwise know somebody when you're visiting there. So yeah, really special. So this is a quick look at, that talk about global mindset. This is bringing this into your life, meeting with people at your local chapter. We also have this amazing creator membership for those of you who are content creators or small business owners. We have tools to support you in your work because amplifying you is a huge part of this. And then I know Ashley was saying, I'm so curious to learn about the homestay program. So we actually launched this wonderful homestay program. And the idea is to have spaces where you can stay with or meet up with other women wherever you go around the world. So you have somebody that can help you. And we have this whole directory of people who have spare bedrooms, people who are Airbnb hosts who might give you a discount, people who are just willing to meet up with you for a cup of coffee. And it's all embedded in the member community. So you know that whoever you're staying with is another wonderful member, and you can see all of their details about how they've been involved, and you can message with them and connect with them, which is really neat.
And it really does make such a difference to know somebody in another place that you're visiting. It just gives you so much more of that local immersive experience and getting tips on just things that really, Google or our travel books just won't give you, that local insight, insider knowledge.
Totally. And I'm adding a comment from Pam here, who is our expert in homestays, and she's actually starting to do programming with the Wanderful community about how you can be a host if you want to. And I think this is such a cool component of all of this. And yeah, I mean, to your point, for those who are not traveling for whatever reason but want to still have that connection, being a host can actually be a really great way to do that, and just to meet up with somebody or to have them in your home in a spare bedroom. And so we create these opportunities to expand that mindset and to feel like you're traveling, even if you're not actually going anywhere. And I think that's like a really special part of all of this. And I think I was going somewhere with this. What was I saying? So I was saying that, oh, yes, that's right. So the big point too is that we're all from somewhere. And I think that was when I first started the blog, kind of a critical part of all this too, is like, I can only tell you so much about the places that I visited, but what I can do is I can connect you with somebody who's from that place, who lives in that place. And I think I do a solo travel 101 workshop, and I say that's the best way to get up-to-date information about what's going on in a city that you're visiting, is to talk to somebody who's there right now, and so we're really creating that. Oh, and then I'm going to stop with my rants, but this is my favorite one. So, so the other thing that I often like to say about Wanderful is that we're actually not about travel at all. And this is what I mean. What I mean is, when we travel, and I've talked about this with our Boston chapter too, I think that sometimes we're really pressured, especially as women. Honestly, I think this often falls on the shoulders of women. We often have a lot of pressure to think about people other than ourselves. If we're caregivers, if we're parents, if we're partners, constantly be thinking about, how is this benefiting someone else, or how is this maybe growing my career, or like giving me, a next step in something. And one thing that I really love about this, and about the fact that we're just a travel community, is that everybody who is a member of Wanderful has made the choice to dedicate a part of themselves to something that they love, purely because they love it, and that because it's important to them. And I think in that way, this community is not at all about travel. It's about self-care. It's about, confidently saying, this is something that's really important to me. And even though it's not necessarily helping, somebody else in my family necessarily, or like advancing my career necessarily, it's something that's important, and I'm important. And it's about loving ourselves and caring for ourselves and committing to that. And I think that that's a really, really powerful part of all of this.
I love that so much, Beth.
Thank you.
Yeah. Honestly, I think about my mom, and She claims she's retired, but she's still working here and there. But travel is something that she, for the first time, well, not for the first time, but for the first time, she's going by herself, doing it for herself, doesn't care, if I'm going, if my brother's going, or, if anyone else is there with her. And that's something that we've been talking about a lot lately too, is just how once we're able to travel and confidently go out into the world again, she's like, I want to do this because it's for me. And for the first time in her life, I'm gone. She's single again, and she can do her own thing for herself. So I really love that.
Yeah. It's so true though. And I also think you brought up something else that we haven't talked a lot about, but we get, or at least we haven't talked about today, but we get a lot of questions about who is Wanderful for in terms of age. And I think people will comment that, photos on our website maybe make us look younger than we are. I mean, but not me, but it's interesting because if you walk into a chapter, I think it is noticeable how diverse and particularly age diverse our community is. We have as many women in their 20s and 30s as in their 50s and 60s. In fact, we have a really awesome meetup that happens every month called the 60 Plus Travelers Meetup. And it's so cute because they say we don't check IDs at the door, so anybody can come. And it's just, I think that's a really critical component of this, because a lot of times when we do talk about travel for women, and especially solo travel, we're always talking to an audience of young, oftentimes white, oftentimes hetero women, Western English speaking women. And that's not who most of solo travelers are. I mean, there's so many other types of women traveling. And we actually have a lot of women, if this speaks to anyone who's watching too, we actually have a lot of women who've gone through some sort of transition in their life most recently. We have a lot of women who have recently gotten out of relationship or recently lost somebody close to them. We have a lot of women who've recently graduated or moved to a new city and started a new career. And I think that also shows how they've become even more open to taking that time for themselves in a way that they might not have had a moment to think about before. And so I think a lot of the vibe that we give off as a community is sort of, self-care and really kind of conscious absorption of that value.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Justine. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to talk about the community and how much I love just the age diversity. I know that's one of the things that really brought me closer to Wanderful. I know I'm younger, but when I attended, I can't remember which WITS it was, which is our creator and brand summit, because I've been to so many now, but one of them, and we consistently have a meetup group for 60 plus women, and I love going to it. I know it's not for me, but I think that there's so much that we can learn, even as younger women, from, women of all different ages, who have been through so much life. And I think that's what's really, really beautiful about Wanderful, is just that diversity of experience, because really that's what travel is, why we travel, right? Is to see different experiences, learn from different people. And so even just within this community, you get that without having to travel. That's what I love. Yes. 60 is the new 30.
Yes, I love that. It's so true though. Sometimes I feel like I'm not in the cool crowd because I'm not old enough yet. So I cannot wait. I cannot wait until my 60s. They're going to be great. It's fantastic, but there's so much joy, I think, in this network, and I just see that every day being part of this. And so, and I just want that for you all. So here's what I'm going to do. I know we have about 15 minutes left. I want to run through the actual benefits now that you're kind of enticed by this beautiful emotional sisterhood that we have. I also want to share all of the benefits that you're going to get. So there's, as I mentioned, there's two different levels here of being part of Wanderful. There's a traveler level membership, and that's for just anybody who loves to travel. And then there's a creator member levelship, and that's for content creators, social media influencers. We often look at it from the media side, but we also have small business owners that are on the creator membership, and you get access to the traveler membership if you come in as a creator. So a creator is kind of an upgrade where you get all of it, and the traveler membership is just focused on travel and not focused on building your business. So Here's what you get as a travel member, and I'll kind of breeze through this, but feel free to ask if you have questions. You get 24/7 access to our virtual platform where you can meet other travelers near you. Whenever you travel, you can actually change up your location and you can find other women in the city that you're in. You can find other chapters, you can find events where you are. So you're really geolocating wherever you go so that you can have local access and a local support network. And when you're not traveling, you can just connect with people virtually and participate in conversations and discussions. You get 3 times weekly, if not more, virtual events, webinars, workshops. This is a screenshot from one of our gatherings. We do a really fun Wonderful Women Wednesday event every month to just feed the travel bug. We do meetups, we do panel discussions and workshops. We have some really neat master classes. So all sorts of stuff. And then it's also saved in, I don't know if I put it in the slide or not, but it's also saved in a content library. So even if you can't access that now, you can still access it later. And the content library has dozens, if not hundreds now, of these events. From, like, I did a Portuguese cooking class once during the pandemic, which was hilarious and awesome. We have dance classes. We have like all sorts of yoga routines. We have basically everything you can imagine that you can do on your own. And then you also get free admission to all of our local chapter events. So our chapter events are paid events for everyone who's not a member. They're free if you are a member. And then there's a whole other bunch of events that are exclusive to you as members that only members can go to. Like, I know some of our chapters have a book club. Some of our chapters have do like these excursions, like the ones where people are going to museums. Those are only for members. So you'll know that you're really connecting with other members in the community. So those are all, and by the way, this isn't just your local chapter. This is like any chapter in the world that you travel to, you get free admission. So you can just plug in and have a group of people to have dinner with or lunch with. So it's really fantastic. You get access to our global hosting network, which I talked about, which is a whole directory of people who have listings on platforms like Airbnb. There's also FemBnB, which we are announcing a partnership with soon. We have women who will meet up with you for a cup of coffee. So anyone who wants to host you in her city, you get full access to that. You get VIP perks at our global gatherings. I had to give a shout out to Wanderfest because this is seriously like my most favorite part right now of everything going on with Wanderful. You're going to get special VIP perks that we're not even going to tell you about yet. It's going to be so fun. We actually have our marketing associate, Kit. I'm going to call her out because she's based in the UK. And yesterday she was like, "You have convinced me so much about Wanderfest. I am going to fly from the UK and go." And she's bringing her sister. So she's coming across the pond just for this. I know it's going to be so good. So you all have to go. It's going to be amazing. And you'll be treated like the queens that you are when you're there. This is the on-demand content library that I was telling you about. This is a cooking class that was done in Italy, which was really cool. And that woman has a backyard that I am extremely envious of. You get master classes and special paid course discounts, whether hosted by our resident experts or others in our community. You get travel deals and discounts. We have this great discount with Delsey Luggage. We have a whole bunch of small businesses that we support. We have freebies, like literally pages and pages of discounts that you can use on your next trip. We have an exclusive job board. We actually publish job listings almost every day so that if you want to change your career, and actually the very first job listing that we ever posted, a Wanderful member got the job. So I will tell you, it works. Yeah, it works. Yes, it was, awesome. Jasmine. And it absolutely works. We have so many talented women. We have businesses that are coming to us all the time looking to hire your talent. So if you're looking to just do something short or freelance, or if you're looking for just a complete career shift and going full time, you can do that. We have our job board. It's so awesome. Oh, and then this is the last thing. We have, I think this is the last one. Yes. So we have a killer referral program, which I know doesn't sound like a benefit all the time. People are like, okay, whatever, referral program. But you're all about travel. We're all about travel. We want to help you travel. So we give all of our members a huge commission for anyone who they bring into the network too. So now you're helping other people be part of this sisterhood, and you're fueling your travel piggy bank, which is a pretty good deal for you. So now more travel for everybody equals everybody's super happy. And this is just a rundown. I will give you, you'll all have access to this recording at the link that you're watching this now. So you'll get an email follow-up later this evening with that, and to remind you of where to find this recording. But if you ever want to go back and take a look, you can always find this slide, pause it, look at everything, and get it in there, but it should be good. And then let me breeze through what the creator members get, because I told you they're all getting everything that the traveler members get, but then they're also getting their own, they have like their own subgroup so they can meet one another. They have regular private webinars. This says weekly, but they're like 3 times a week now too. Content that helps you run your blog or business, with our whole team of resident experts who are incredible experts in the travel content space who can really help you build your business. We have a lot of people who are new to blogging who come in and they're like, this is everything that I needed in order to really kickstart my blog. So an incredible space. You get a whole other separate content library. Sorry, Justine, what were you going to add?
I was just going to say, and not just blogging, but all different aspects of creating, whether you're in
Really
video or photography or, just all the different parts of running a travel business. There's so many resources in there that I have personally found to be so helpful. I'm part of the creator membership, and yeah, I just have learned so much from the people who are part of this network.
Mm-hmm. And Justine, I have to toot her horn too, because Justine is the co-creator of one of our best toolkits out there, which is our anti-oppression toolkit. Do you want to tell people a little bit about that?
Yeah, so our anti-oppression toolkit was created by myself and our colleague Ariel Goldberg, and it is this super jam-packed toolkit that's full of resources, how-to guides on how to create content that's ethical and equitable. We were speaking about this earlier about how important it is for those of us at Wanderful to meaningfully travel in a way that is ethical and responsible. And, whether that's like the decisions that we make as travelers ourselves and where we go, what businesses we support and all of those different things. But from the creator side, we're the ones who are creating, right? We're making the content, we're writing about these destinations, we're writing about these different people and these different businesses. So how do we do that in a way that is truly inclusive, that is really equitable and ethical? And so we have so many different resources there, from how to talk about gender, how to talk about cultures that are different from your own in a way that is respectful and not appropriative, and how do we stand in allyship with Indigenous nations, who are the original inhabitants of many of the lands that we live on or travel to. So it's a really jam-packed toolkit that I hope some of you dive into. That's
and a lot of people regularly say, like, toolkits like this one, they're like, I can't believe this is free. Usually the free stuff is like a 1-pager. This is like a 50-pager. It's really long and really comprehensive because we don't want to be withholding that information from anybody. So anyone that it can help, you get access to. And Ashley just asked this really great question of how many members are in the Wanderful community now. We actually just hit 3,000 members not long ago. So there's 3,000 of us who are Wanderful members in the portal who are helping each other. It's absolutely amazing. I couldn't be prouder. Let me give you more of the creator stuff because I want to make sure we're getting you the information that you need on how to join. Our creator members also get small group coaching and mastermind circles. They get a lot of one-on-one time. Justine actually hosts one of them that's all about, what is the title? Like accountability and...
Our accountability circle. So it's based on the anti-oppression toolkit because so many of the creators who are part of the group have found it really helpful and want community, like other women, to speak to and to hold them accountable for creating equitable content. So we've been doing that since October. It's been going really well, and I hope to see some of you there.
Woohoo! We have a whole other gigs and opportunities board. So that's for if you want to get mentioned in the media, if you're looking for a brand partnership, things that are not just like a job for somebody else, but actually opportunities to further your own work. We have that. We have this ability to promote your content to our wonderful members, our traveler members. So every Friday we ask you to share your interesting articles and content and the things that you've been working on, and the accomplishments that you've done with our whole traveler community. And then we have all sorts of deals and discounts on just business services that you can actually build your brand up and build up your business. So and then this is the last thing. In like 2 months, and this is actually really huge, in 2 months, we are announcing a huge change. We're bringing in an app that you're going to love, and it helps content creators build brand partnerships. It will be a game changer for you all, and all of our members will get in for free. And the kit is called the Anti-Oppression Toolkit. Which I think, Justine, do you remember off the top of your head what the URL is for that?
She'swonderful.com/equity-toolkit.
Okay. I'm just dropping that in the chat. So she'swonderful.com/equity-toolkit. Yeah, check it out. And yes, Jordan, get ready. This is going to be like the coolest platform you're ever going to see. So here's that rundown of what creator membership entails. And now what I want to do is, oh my gosh, I always forget this really important part too. So, okay, last thing, and then I'm going to tell you about pricing. We also give back, and it's always been embedded in our ethos, but we've started doing this in a financial way. So a couple things. Number one, every membership purchase actually funds a membership for another woman who can't afford it. We have a scholarship program, and you can apply and get on the list to receive a 1-year scholarship. Every time we sign up a new Wanderful member, we take somebody else off that list. So you get to know that whenever you join Wanderful, you're actually bringing somebody else with you that you might never know who it was that you brought in, but it's really cool to know that you're actually funding this for yourself and another person. And we take a portion of your member dues and we donate every month to a nonprofit that deserves the support. And this month we're doing a really cool nonprofit based out of DC called Fight Through Flights. And they actually send Black women who are experiencing breast cancer treatment or are survivors of breast cancer. They send them on trips. They're wellness trips. Sometimes it's just a 1-day, I need to take a breath and be by myself kind of trip. Sometimes it's a 5-day road trip that's focused on emotional healing. And there's all sorts of different types of trips that they offer, but it's really an incredible organization. And we're really proud to be giving them a portion of our member dues this month. And that's something that you'll be able to know that you're doing every month just for being a member, is you don't even have to think about it. You just continue as a Wanderful member, and a portion of those dues are helping other women around the world. Pretty cool. Okay, so here's what you might pay for these things elsewhere. I basically tallied up the value of our virtual events, our app, the global hosting network, the chapter events, the deals, the job board, the coaching that you're getting, the gig board on the creator side. And you'll see that this is over $2,600 in value on the traveler side, over $7,900 in value on the creator side every year. But we're going to give it to you for way less than that because nobody can afford all those benefits altogether. Our typical prices are $29 a month or $299 per year. And on the creator side, it's a little bit more. It's $44 a month or $449 a year. So if you go to she'swonderful.com/join, those are the prices that you're going to see there. You can go on in and sign up. I think it's incredibly reasonable based on all of the crazy things that you're getting. But I'm going to raise you one because you all came and made it to this event, whether you're here live or you're watching the recording. So I always want to give you a present for doing that and being present and being part of this. So I'm actually giving you an enormous discount. This is like the biggest discount that we've given in a long time. I'm basically cutting this in half. So anybody who signs up in the next, I don't know, I think I gave you 72 hours, until the end of this month. Anybody who signs up, you use the code AUTUMN21 and you're going to get traveler membership. These are only annual plans, but travel membership for 50% off, creator membership for 50% off. And I know usually people say like, this is for the first year. This is forever. So you will only ever pay this rate. It will, if you're already a member, then thank you for being a member, AB. This is only for new members. Thank you for those of you who are members. I appreciate you and love you. For our new members, I'm giving you an extra special deal. I want you to come in and be part of this community. So you're getting this rate 50% off. I hope you come in and join. And all you have to do is go to sheswonderful.com/join and just use the code autumn21 in order to sign up. That's going to be valid for the next 3 days. And by the way, this is actually a really good point too. We now have a 7-day free trial for all of our new members. So even if you're not sure, if you kind of want to try it out first, when you first join, you won't be charged for 7 days. So you can actually join, come in, see what the fuss is all about, meet some people. Yeah. And then if you don't like it, no worries. You can just pop out and leave. And if you do, stay with us for a while. I think you're going to love it here. So it's like no pressure. And we just want you to be able to come inside, because sometimes just coming in and seeing it makes the difference.
Yeah. But make sure you come to another event to really see all the things that we're talking about, because that is what makes Wanderful so amazing. So I'm so glad we have a 7-day free trial now.
Yeah. And I know a lot of the people who have asked about the trial too will say, like, I mentioned that a lot of our events are paid events. If you didn't want to pay for an event, you could always activate your free trial just before that event starts. Then you get free access to it. And then it's a great way to like actually try out an event that you're interested in too. So, and we've been we'll promote our events on our social media feeds. We have them on our Eventbrite profile, so you can see all of them there. And so now what I want to do, we have just a couple minutes left, is I want to actually give our members a chance to share their stories. I know we've had some great people in the comments that have shared their experiences. Justine, I know you shared your experience. I think that's amazing. I want to also bring in some of our other members who have shared their experiences. So I have, I think they're like 1 to 2 minute videos. I'm going to have Christine's go first and let you hear from our members. So here you go.
Wonderful to me is a community that is so much fun, really supportive, but also really inspirational. And I'm going to tell you why. But if you don't know who I am, I'm Christine. I'm the travel creator behind Where in the World is CL, and I make travel videos to help people get up, get out, and go travel, both on YouTube, Instagram, and every single platform. And I'm also a female drone pilot that loves to help others learn how to drone. I've been part of the Wanderful community for about a year, and it's been awesome. It's so much fun because from a traveler perspective, you got a bunch of women all over the world who love to travel and who love to help each other with ideas, inspirations, and just general tips and knowledge about places to travel to. I can't tell you how many times I have traveled to a destination, reached out to a Wanderful member, and got some really cool insight about traveling to that place, or was able to meet up with one of the Wanderful members somewhere around the world.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there because I think it was a good closing point, even though she didn't finish her video, because my internet is not letting us work today. But hopefully you all heard a good portion of that. Christine is one of our amazing members and has been part of this community since really the beginning. And so we're so fortunate to have her. We have other videos that I won't share with you now just because they are coming out a little bit choppy, but I will share them on social. So stay tuned. You can check them out on Instagram at our handle is She's Wanderful, and that will give you a little bit of a taste of what people have to say about us and about being members. And I know you've already gotten a good taste of that in the comments too. So now what I want to do is give you the last little bit of all of this, which is just reiterating all of the things that we're about. We're about women helping women travel. We're about giving women that agency and that ability to say yes to travel, yes to the self-care part that comes with travel. But then also it's about looking at who we're impacting when we do, making us more responsible, more conscious travelers, giving us the knowledge and the tools to get out there and make choices that are good for everyone. And if you're in the space of building a business or building a brand, giving you the tools to actually do that with this amazing team of resident experts that help us out. So I hope that you all come and be part of it. And I'm going to bring this slide back up on the screen too, so that you can see it. This is our deal of the day. You're not going to get anything better than this. I don't think we've offered anything better than this. It's 50% off your membership. The URL is sheswonderful.com/join. You can use the code autumn21. And I hope that we see you in here. This is only going to be active for 3 days. So you got to get in.
New friends.
Do your free trial, get your 7-day free trial in, check it out. Ashley just asked, do you have a Slack group? We don't actually have a Slack group, only because I've personally found that Slack can be great for like small teams, but when you get to be a community of 3,000 people, it can get really overwhelming really fast. And so we actually, all of the benefits that you would get in a Slack group, we have in our member portal, which is hosted by Mighty Network. So we have a conversation thread, we have a sharing thread. So there's tons of like message board style topics that are going on. And rather than giving us like a whole other platform too, we can do it all in our member community. So you'll find all of that in there.
Yeah, I love that it's all in one.
I was just going to say, do you have any final words before we let everybody go, or anything that you think that they should know about this?
Well, I was just going to say about the Slack group, I think that's one of the great parts about the membership too, is that you have everything all in this one portal, you know, all of the access to the events and the different resources and master classes that you were talking about, Beth, and all this conversation you can also bring on to this platform on Mighty Networks, so that you don't have to go to so many different places, you know? And so, yeah, I'm just really excited to see these comments come in and to hopefully connect with a lot more new people. You know, there's always somebody new that I encounter either at an event or on the boards, or, you know, all of the different things that Wanderful does. So hopefully to see even more new faces.
I am really looking forward to it. And you know what? The best thing that I'm looking forward to is tomorrow morning, seeing all the people who have joined, because what you're going to do is you're going to get a flood of welcome messages from people over the next week being like, welcome to Wanderful. We're so excited to have you. And I think that's my favorite part, is just that this open armed welcome from all of our members and just people who want to see you thrive. And I think in, you know, sometimes women's communities can be given a bad rap of like a place where people are like really nice on the outside and then, you know, not so nice on the inside. But I think this is one of those spaces where you're going to find genuine support. You're going to find real sisterhood. You're going to find women who have a lot of the same values as you, but also come from a really diverse range of backgrounds and histories and stories. And I think that makes us really, really special. So I hope we see all of you in there. If you ever have any questions, just reach out. I'd love to answer them. You can find me at Maximum Beth on social media. You can also reach out to Wanderful at She's Wanderful. Diana, I see your message. And if you send me a message on social, you can find me there and we can talk. So I'm happy to help you out as much as I can. And to everybody else, thank you so much for being here. Have a great rest of your day. Stay warm if it's cold. Stay cool if it's warm. We'll talk to you next time, and we'll see you in the member portal. Bye for now, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, Justine.
Bye, Beth. See you later.
Yeah. Bye,